welcome you to the Wi-Fi lunchtime service. Your service revitalizing fellowships and inner life mastery. I encourage you to allow yourself to partake fully in every aspect of this service and experience growth with us. I quickly want to go through our visions and missions. Wi-Fi serves to reveal our divine identity, advocate Christ culture, and equip humanity for the relevant engagement in life and ministry in an atmosphere of unconditional love, trust, faith, and spiritual power. Our mission is to influence the mindset change through the revelation of humanity's oneness, the divine, and equip individuals with the truth of who they are to the intent of having us firmly grounded to empower others to be impactful in every sphere of life. Our core values are unconditional love, lifting spirit, integrity, selflessness, trustworthiness, and tenacious devotion. We believe that all life begins and ends within the triune Godhead, and all of humanity is spiritually included in the love and life of the divine. We believe this inclusive relationship is delivered timelessly, sustained, and guaranteed by the nature of the Father who fills all things. We equally believe in the urgency to make mankind aware of the good news of their redemption and an inferior expression of life, most attractive and abundant life possible. We want to give this evocation to God. Father, Mother, God, the embodying presence of all life, may the forces within me now become adjust and attentive to divine prompting, so I may always be awake to the power of your spiritual presence. Father, Mother, God, live my entire life in conscious union with you, renew me daily in the spirit of love, forgiveness, and fullness of joy. This body, temple of me, in which you live, your goodwill shine forth through my aura, redeeming, consecrating, and perfecting all I see, touch, and relate with. All of the holy thoughts of my Father, Mother, God, take up the wings of the wind, and in the flash of lightning, minister as angels to my soul. God, you are the light, the power, and the eternal blessing. In you I live always, and to you be the all glory forever. In the center of the universe, within the vastness of my soul, I evoke thee to come forth, O God, of all life, all wisdom, all power, all love, and all splendor, to flourish through my laudable undertaking. I am one with thee, O great Spirit of spirits, because the fullness of you embodies my soul. Let your power, love, and presence shine radiantly through me, guiding all my way and divine ambition to reveal the brightness of the day. Abiding in the center of you, most adorable God, my will and courage energized by your dream with beauty and power. My ways are filled with the holy influence as I give expression to all your divine attributes within me. In union with you, and as your power always works through me, nothing in the entire universe opposes my goodwill. All things work for the fulfillment of my will. Spirits of the air, ministering the life presence of God to me, renewing my soul, mind, and body. The spirit of the fire is ministering God's transforming and transmuting grace through me, making me bright, and I absorb the holy learning from pain. The spirit of the water is ministering God's restoring grace through my life, and I am ever purified and reborn with the fullness of the God's presence. The spirit of the earth is ministering God's stabilizing love in my soul. In the fullness of my godhood and radiantly perfect in the midst of the element, I successfully create by will the glory of God. O God, flame, your divine love and wisdom. Purify my mind and will. You have become the health of my soul, mind and body. All of life is assembled, working for my highest good. My life is becoming a never-ending, ever-revealing glory of your mighty magic presence. I take authority over my life and bless every condition I go through to reveal the greater good in my life. You, O Father, Mother, God, the most holy, who is the vastness of my soul, you will praise and glory throughout the ages. Your name, might and power without end. Amen and amen.
Man. God, we should bless you, Joshua, and every one of you who's on Zoom, who's on YouTube. In the next 30 seconds, in the next minute, I just want you to close your eyes. I was having a chat with Sika yesterday. We were talking about Val's Day, and we both agreed to the fact that Val's Day means nothing to us. She said Val's Day is nothing, doesn't mean anything to her, so she doesn't celebrate it. And I said that, yes, same here. I just align with the fact that on that day or in the month of February, there is that love vibration all over the world. All over the world. It doesn't matter what belief people subscribe to, it doesn't matter their religion, it doesn't matter what they believe in. The mere fact that there is that 14th of February, Vows Day, in the beginning of February, you feel the love everywhere. You see people talking about it, you see people doing actions towards it. I just align with that. It gives me that joy, that happiness. With our eyes closed, I want us to just celebrate that vibration of love. That people are experiencing all over the world. To many, it might just be a day. It might just be a day of buying chocolate for somebody. It might just be a day of taking somebody out. It might just be a day of being in good terms with the missus or the boyfriend because they want to be taken out and have some good meal. Whichever way, whichever form that people take it, there's love in it. And as we celebrate that love, and raise that vibration of the love, we will see a massive change in the world. Celebrate the activation of love that is happening all around me. I celebrate the love that you have shown me. I celebrate the love that I have towards you. But as many who have thought of their loved ones in one way or the other, may that good thought transcend into places that they've never thought of. May that experience of love break frontiers onto places that we could never imagine. I've also come to believe in this, Reverend, you say, as Brother Ishmael Tete always says, that he believes in a world of peace, that there will come a time, there will come a day, that the whole universe will be full of love. And I understand what it means to have that feeling. And that is my focus. That as we celebrate love, as we celebrate vibration and activation of love, may this dream become a reality. Amen. Rev, please take over.
Bless God. The last 3 weeks, we have been looking at the subject of unraveling holistic relationship. The truth is, you cannot really hide from the fact that all of life is also about relating. No, that is also, it is about relating. See? And relating can also not be separated from communication. You relate by communicating, whether verbal or non-verbal. Even when you aren't speaking, you still interact. Either with yourself or sending thoughts, sending vibration. How many times has it crossed your mind, or the thought of someone flashes your mind, crosses your mind, and then next minute you forget? You didn't say a word. We are vibrational beings. We can't overemphasize that. And those of us of this household, we understand that. A couple of sessions ago, I highlighted the importance of us awakening to our understanding of our relationship first with us. Developing your relationship with you, and out of it have the overflow, the joy, the peace, the serenity, the soundness that you have, the health, the integrity of the essence within overflows and touches those without. Because out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth doeth speak. I was telling someone over the week, you would be looking for a relationship, and I just asked them, why do you want a relationship? And they're like, oh, sometimes, it feels lonely sometimes. I'm like, who? You realize that when you die, you're going to be all by yourself. And if you don't consider yourself a company great to be with, you are in a miserable place. You are by yourself and you are bored, and you're looking for someone to make you happy. You're a fookhead. If you aren't great company to be with, you won't be great company for another. Let's deeply look within ourselves and ask ourselves, if all the things that we cloud our lives with, all the gadgets, social media and everything else that, and I say this, the reality hit me a couple of weeks ago. I was just there and I'm like, ooh. Because I was talking to someone about personal space. And after I'd had a conversation with them, I just sat there to really think about it and genuinely quiz myself to find out if what I claim stands really true, if I look deep within me. That is, if I'm all by myself and I've got no internet, if I'm all by myself and I've got, say, no books. I love books. How will I feel? Will I survive? It was a difficult question. I'll lay down for about 20 minutes and I'll just allow myself to listen in. Some interesting thoughts just flashed my mind. The lesson that I was doing with the kids the other day or last week, and we touched on again this week, very relevant. The man who loses his keys in the house, and because the Anthony lies in the house and there's darkness inside, sees light in the street, goes to the street to look for the keys which got missing inside his house. Madness, and that's how most of us live our life. Can guarantee us. A lot of people are celebrating their being single, celebrating their personal space, but I can bet you take away, all that we have done is people are not there and we have replaced them with them. We've replaced the company that we seek in people with things, with gadgets, with stuff. And when those stuff are stripped of us, the miserable us which has been hiding in the background will learn. The sages, the gurus, the yogis have lived generations past, a life of solitude, life of separation, with absolutely no gadgets, and they live blissful lives with mind-blowing results. And when those thoughts flash my mind, I'm like, it is possible, it is achievable, it is doable. That is what I'm aspiring to. A whole day, a whole week, a whole year, a whole month, with nothing but me. How will it be? How will it feel like? Those are the addictions I want to let go now, or I want to grow out of now, and make me a company worth sharing and worth experiencing. And when that happens, I can tell you for a fact that you will bring better presence to everyone you share space with in a relationship. Let's think about it. I genuinely don't know what I would do without books. I don't know. But Rahman Nashi says this, and I think I've heard Taguru also say it, that he reads nothing but life. How true that is. I challenge you. Spend 30 minutes. Lay you down. With no with no distraction. Your mind not wandering on the cat and coin that you have in the fridge and all those things. And truly allowing yourself to listen. I'm really enjoying my dreams the last few weeks. Beautiful dream. Never go to bed without a deep question on your heart. Never go to sleep without putting your mind at peace and at rest. It's the mind that is at peace is what is the same that finds answers. Instead of spending the last moments of your night thinking of all the ills, all the hurts, all the pain that someone has caused you, partners caused you, children have caused you. Evoke the love. Pour love into you and out of you. Have compassion upon your own soul as you lay on your. David says, I lay me down to sleep, but my heart was wide awake. Open that heart. Have questions which go beyond you and your petty needs. And all the little trivial things that you want to have so that people will know that you have also arrived. All the trivial things that you want to have so that you will feel that you are successful. Let go of all of that. And ask deep, soul-evolving questions. How do I become a beneficial presence to every soul that I encounter? What is contained in the moment that every soul spends with me? What sort of impact am I here to make? Ask deep, soul-searching questions. Let's sleep. You'll be surprised. When you put your focus in this space, sort of things that will begin to emerge and arise through you will blow you. I tell you that for free. I say I don't tell you anything I'm not experiencing, and I don't share with you anything that I'm not practicing. It's either something that I have been into or something that I'm starting to get into, I share with you. You'll be blown. People may find you boring. That's absolutely fine. And last year I was doing a checklist of signs that you are getting awake. I just look at my own life and just wrote down feedback that I get from people, because some of those feedback points to me that I'm waking up and it is causing them and dramas. Those became some of my signs for the evidence of being awake. And one of them is you piss off a lot of people. They see you some way. Everything you say appears some way to them. Everything you say, the way you do your things appear out of their world, and it makes them uncomfortable. You know, they want you to be like them, and you are not. They want you to think like them, and you aren't, and it becomes an issue for them. You know that you are getting awake. They that are awake, they trouble them that sleep. Isn't it true? When people are sleeping and you're awake and making noise, they get disturbed, don't they?
Yeah, especially when you live with noisy people and they wake up. Getting from the bed alone is noisy. Or lying in bed, coming into the bed alone makes you wake up. Yes, they are noisy.
So the personal attack.
Sad. A classic difference between one who is awake and one who is sleeping.
But sometimes somebody sleeping can make more noise than you, especially they snore, and you are and you are awake.
Like caterpillar. Yeah. Okay. So, where were we last week? Oh, so all of that was intro. Eh?
Yeah, that we're almost finishing the message.
Where were we last week? Was okay.
Last week. Where were we last week? Yeah, last week. I mean, we had a good session.
When he's beginning to pour off, that's how he starts.
I'll pour off. Was the session not good? It was good. We had a good session. I mean, obviously, you said a lot, but normally what I do is, one that strikes me most that in the course of the week, I ponder on and I look into it more. Is what I share. It doesn't mean that with the rest of them, I listen to them. I mean, I resonate with them, but something will strike you, in a statement will strike you, or a phrase, get you awakened to rethink certain things. And last week, he did make that statement with the fact that the philosophy that we have known, or we've learned, we have preached over the years about love, it's not in sync, it's not in line with nature, which is true. I think that's the reason why, right, as you said, the reason why we are seeing the things that we are seeing, the happenings, the discomforts, the ills that are happening all over the world. It's because of what we have learned about love. We have put our own philosophy and some things about love, and so that is what we've poured it out there, and the effect of it is what we are experiencing in Sudan, in other places that there are wars, in our homes, when a husband and a wife cannot live together, when brothers and sisters cannot live together, when people think that I am black and I'm better than you are white. It's because of what we have been fed with, what we know about love, we are putting out there. So what I know about love, I need to love my brother is someone who comes from Ghana. So if you don't come from Ghana and you're a Nigerian man, I can't love you enough. That's my philosophy of love. And that's what we have poured out there, and the effect of it we are experiencing. You went on to see that when we begin to have rethink and have that inner peace with ourselves, because whatever is inside of us, our heart was born out of the heart, the mouth speak. So whatever is inside of us, what I know about love, which is inside, that is what I have put out there. So I begin to rethink, and then have that inner peace in and with myself, fill myself with that peace, that joy, that love. It's what in me that is coming out to heal the world in that sense. So I think that was what in the course of the week I was thinking of. What do I know about love? What have I been taught about love? What have I preached about love before? When I consider all those things, I started rethinking my decision and my understanding on love.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Jay.
Yes.
What was your take from last week? You saying yes like you want to punch me or something?
No.
Yeah, that yes seemed like bring it on.
Yeah, go on, please.
I can't get much.
Do you have a brain fog?
Pardon? No. Well, I just can't think of.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Think about it.
Okay, last week I think we started with one of the things we started was a question which says, what she's been in spirit and in truth mean? Which you said we're gonna answer. We should think about it. I'm still thinking. Don't ask me if I've got an answer.
That was the work of Fatima, I knew I did.
So you me away from. I'm removing myself from it. I'm still thinking because it sounds more like a PhD question.
This morning I was thinking about that. So if he asked, I said I didn't get answer.
So I'm still thinking. And then as you already said, you talked about, obviously we're talking about it, and the message is centered around love, and you said what we see is a result of what is happening within us. So more like as within, so without. If you've heard that quote, that before. And then you asked about the Tesla quote, and then you used it to define love. That the secret, if you want to know the secret of love, think in terms of energy frequencies and vibration. And then you talked about love dwelling in emotions, and then strategies to contribute to strategies in building your love. That's practice self-compassion, cultivate positive relationship, and set boundaries in relationship. I know you said more, but I only wrote the 3 down, so I can only remember the 3.
At least you have written something.
Yeah.
I intentionally we haven't published the notes for last week. I've not finished my editing of it. But yeah, it's going to come. I've not had a chance to look at it. Okay. Worshipping spirit and truth. I'm going to ask anyway. You know, we can't be using phrases we don't understand. Till when? How are we going to be doing that to ourselves?
Let's do tips on that. Not here.
Dear. Okay. I've got 2 questions.
You haven't answered the ones we had before.
Which one?
No question.
The truth and spirit.
I gave you I gave you a hint last week. I gave you a hint.
We want the two answer.
Yeah, I gave you a hint last week to kind of get you thinking along. I gave you a line to think along, but you probably didn't pay attention. So, attention is the price we pay to know what we need to know. I gave you a hint. Go back and listen. I gave a hint. It's even in one of the shots that I posted. It's there. Immediately after you finish your submission, now it's there. I gave you a hint.
We'll go and listen.
I'll give you a hint. Okay. So we agree that how we relate with others is determined by our view of ourselves and our values. Do we agree?
Yeah.
How you relate with other humans is determined by how you see yourself, how you view yourself, how you value yourself.
Yeah.
If you value yourself as being more important than any other, you will treat people like that or with that mindset. If you value yourself as being in the other, that will also determine how you treat people. Your perspective of you and what you consider valuable ultimately determines or dictates how you treat other people as well. Okay. You don't have any regard for yourself, you wouldn't have any regard for any other human. You don't love yourself. You know, you say, I've taught this in this space. You've heard it being said, love your love your neighbor. Jesus says, love them as you love yourself. I've said this a few times that we need to have an appreciation. I overly, you know, I've said this a few times as well, that I'm overly wary of people who always say the Bible say without really knowing what the Bible really said. And in one stretch, you get someone massively defending, oh yeah, love your neighbor as yourself. So if I don't love me, and if I don't put me first, how can I love the other? Blah blah blah, the other. But you forget, every statement has got a context. I've said. The same one who said love your enemy, or was called love your neighbor as yourself, is the one who said that if your neighbor removes your suit, give to them your shirt. How is that loving them like you love yourself? He's the same one who said that greater love has no man than this, than for a man to put down his life for the other. Context. So are you supposed to love your neighbor as yourself, or are you supposed to love your neighbor beyond you? Would you want to operate in love, or you want to operate in greater love? You see yourself as an object of love or as an object of greater love? Love is inward looking, greater love is outward looking. In that context. So I adopted the mindset to love every human as I see God love them. And I can be wrong. Not how I love myself. As I see God love them.
I think Jesus even said that at some point. That love your neighbor as I have loved you.
Love one another as I have loved you. See? The context. You get a friend of mine, a very good friend, he was preaching, and he knows that when I don't argue with my friends in public, I'll either give you a googly eye and we talk about it in the background. If you make dangerous statements, you only get googly eye, or I'll just come and do, hey, I won't say anything. You know, like, you're a woman and you're frustrating yourself. I'm sure he'll probably listen to this, but yeah, it's fine, I'll say it anyway, because he said it in public, so I'll say it, you know. What he said is no secret. You are a woman and you're getting frustrated if your husband claiming that you love them and you are not seeing it. Who sent you to go and love? Yours is to submit. And the duty of the man is to love, and your duty is to submit. I'm saying, darling, dangerous things like this people are saying about the place. And the dishonesty.
Another tip topic.
Oh, make a list. Make a list.
Yeah, that's what I'm making. Anything you say, it can just come to mind, because there are some statements in the Bible that we've not thought of it, but it didn't it's dangerous because they'll quote it. Because a man love, a woman submit. So he's not wrong in saying that, because that's what he knows.
Yeah, like, oh. So, and another funny one that I hear, oh, you know, that if you submit to, if you give your husband submission, he will not struggle to love you. Hey, you see how recalcitrant you are. God loves you in that way. He tells you don't go there. He said, I'm coming from there. you even carry his breath to go misbehave. You know what hogwash? So, if your husband is not loving you, it means you are not being submissive. And if you submit to a man, the love is natural. And then they'll turn around and say, as a man as well, if you love your woman, the submission is natural, it happens automatic.
Which one comes first? Which one has the love of the son?
Concept. Pastor K, take us to Ephesians chapter 5.
Me call Bible match it. Me call Bible. Ephesians 5.
I don't even know where to start from with this.
Ephesians 5.
Just take it from verse 1. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy Paul's talk for some time.
Where's my Ephesians? Ephesians 5 from 1.
Yeah.
I read from King James. Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love, as Christ also had loved us, and had given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savour. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you, as becometh saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather of thanks. For this ye know, that no warmonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater.
Every time I read that passage in the past, I'm like, this part there, beautiful, like, foolish jesting. The amount of crap that we talk about. Just carry on.
Had any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light, for the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light. For whatsoever doeth make manifest is light. Wherefore he said, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. See then that ye walk circumspectively, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding that the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein in excess, but be filled with the Spirit, speaking to yourself in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God. 22. Wives, submit yourself unto your own husband as unto the Lord.
Good.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wife be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for it, that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word, that he might present it to himself a glorious church, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it should be holy and without blemish. So ought men to love their wives as their own bodies. He that loveth his wife loveth himself. For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it, even as the Lord the church. We are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular so love his wife, even as himself, and the wife see that she reverence her husband.
Okay. So what all that buraha and all that Paul was saying in that chapter had nothing to do with marriage. Absolutely nothing to do with marriage. He says that I speak to you a mystery. This has got nothing to do with marriage, but I am trying to tell you the relationship in Christ and his body. Howbeit, take from this and apply to your lives. It's as simple as that. It's not a command. It's not. Did you understand? He was teaching them something very deep, something very profound, and using the example of marriage to highlight the point. That is where he ends. So he goes around, beats around in circles and says, I speak to you. Take that verse again.
That is true. This is a great mystery, but I speak concerning Christ and the church. Good. Nevertheless, let every one of you in particular.
Nevertheless, so I'm speaking to you. Everything I've said, I'm just trying to highlight a deep truth concerning Christ and the church. But you can take this and apply to your marriages so that you will have peace, you will have soundness, because this makes sense. Don't forget why he wrote the letter to the Ephesians. Don't forget. It is to give specific instructions to the Ephesian believers on how, because they had written and they had questions about various things which were out of place, and he had taken his time to write to address them categorically. All that is about the relationship between the body of Christ. So I find it intriguing that people jump to verses 22, 23 to talk about submit and love, but they forget 21. What does 21 say? 21 precedes 22, 23.
21 says, submitting yourself one to another in the fear
of the Lord. Submitting yourselves one to another. Submission is not one way. Submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of the Lord. And then he goes on to relay the truth of Christ and the church again, and bring in the analogy of the husband and the wife to drive his point home. We should stop the concept. What's some kind?
The 9 o'clock tips. This one. Perfect. TikTok tips straight. It's straight. We just 3-5 minutes. If you explain it simple and it makes sense. But that is where all the problems in marriage comes from. Because if you go to the counselor, that's what they're going to tell you. Wife, her husband, you have to love your wife. Wives, you have to submit. And the question has always been, which one comes first? If you love me, I'll submit. This one was, if you submit, I'll love you. And I think they don't say Paul said, they say, oh, but God said you have to love your. God hasn't said anything.
I'm having going even to chip it. But I got dream.
Okay, so when you were speaking, the thought just came to my head that it's possible to submit to someone. So what is submission in the first place? It's possible to submit to someone you're scared of, you're scared of, and not necessarily love the person. It's not only a husband-wife relationship. yeah, let's say it's a husband-wife relationship. This so-called supposed husband is a bully, whatever. The wife is so scared of him. She submits, she asks for anything, she does it. Does she necessarily love him? Like in the context, I'm putting love in the context of what obviously the general understanding of what we call love in the context they've put it in. And just now I just looked at the word submission. It says is the action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or to will or sorry, the action of accepting or yielding to a superior force or the will or authority of another person. So it was or it says the action of presenting a proposal application. That's obviously different context, but this in the context we're talking about accepting,
like submitting your assignment.
It's the word itself. What it means, it's not God. If the way we are talking about it, you have to submit. That's why he's not loving you, or he's loving you because you are submitting. No, it's losing here. It means the person losing themselves. They don't have any authority, and that's not love. You understand? So let's put that submission in context. What is it trying to say? We've turned the whole Bible upside down, reading it literally, and it wasn't written literally. It was only written to put, not to put more what Jesus said, giving your pearls before swine. For the truth, for those who really seek it to come out. You understand? They just use analogies and stories to metaphors to to explain the truth. It's just the truth is just hiding behind it. It's a beautiful book. It's got lots of truth in it, but unfortunately, we read it literally, and we miss it. Yeah.
So he says that he's hidden it from the wise. Yeah. Or he's hidden it from those who think they know.
Yeah.
And opened it to those who receive it with a genuine heart and a clear conscience.
Yeah.
And even with what we said about love last week, with the philosophy that we know about love, I know people, who are generous in their homes, men who are generous in their home, not because of love, but because they have in abundance. I used to say this back in the, I used to compare my uncle and Spencer's father. The two, I always used to compare them, and I always used to say that Spencer's dad is a civil service worker. You can see a man who had love for his kids. He took them to the best of schools. He would do it. He never traveled before. Until recently, when he grew old, went pension, and then he went to visit his son in US. But he wasn't focused on traveling and stuff. Bafo went to Galaxy International. I was paying in dollars. Kwame went to some new school they built in Kumasi. He was paying in dollars. He made sure Spencer went to good school. This was a man who had never budgeted before. My uncle had lots of money. He was giving. His was because he had it in abundance, not because he wanted to do it. But the money was there. So as soon as you say it, he wouldn't struggle to give you. So you would think that
it doesn't cost him anything.
No. He'll give it to you easily. Not because he loved you that much, but because the man is there. If he gives you, he won't take anything away from him. So even in that context, what we think is love and submit. Rightly, as you said, most women are submitting because they are afraid, because that is what the man has forced them to do. You need to submit.
Because submission has become subservience.
Our culture, you have to submit to your husband, and then husband, you need to provide. So out of providing, they think it would be love you. It's not. So that is why we need to go back and then do tips on that. What love really is, and that's what we're talking about, and what submission really is.
Do you have anything to add?
No. No.
From the perspective of a 16-year-old.
I'm not married.
You don't have to be married to understand what you're talking about.
Perfect answer.
Talking about relationships, you have a relationship with your brothers, don't you?
But that relationship, there's no submission. It's just
there's no submission.
There's no submission. Their form of love is different from ours. They fight, they do all those things, and that is how they show love. So Joshua is right. I support Joshua. You are not married.
So you were saying, you was going to say something, wasn't
No, I was just saying what Uncle was saying.
it? Okay. Right. It is quite interesting, because like these things. Then I have the number of times I've heard people use these patients to bash people, and everywhere I see it, I just go back and I say, my comment is always one. I say, don't talk about 22-23 until you have revised 21, and they won't come back. Every time I see it, that's my reference. And what does it even mean? Just as we say, what does it mean? It's like I will have conversations with Amma, and I'll say something, she says something contrary, but I'm like, what I'm saying doesn't really require this contrary comment. Like, but am I not allowed to have an opinion? I'm like, no, it's not about having an opinion, but in this instance, your opinion is not needed. Because your opinion is not really helping me get to where I want to get to. Anyway, saying that, yeah, how many of us have taken time to understand why we do things, why we do our things the way we do it? Why? So,
we meaning who?
Like humans, or you, yourself. Yeah.
Oh.
Have you taken the trouble to find out, why do I do this way? Why do I think this way about this? Why do I think that way about that person, that situation? Why do I wake up this way? Why do I sleep this way? Why do I talk like this? Why do I think this way?
Okay.
I'm quite curious to get to know. I do. And that's why I'm asking.
Okay, for me, the only aspect of my life that I've actually thought about or looked at it, asked that question, is money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Or you see Kaba, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've not thought of why you relate the way you relate to certain people, or why you think about why and how you judge certain people the way you judge them, or how and why you analyze certain people or certain events the way you analyze it.
I personally, I do. I have, in different parts of my life. It's all, if you're walking in the path of enlightenment, like more like wanting to know more, these are some of the questions you ask yourself without even knowing, or you understand. You ask yourself, for instance, especially if I'm having a challenge with a person, someone you're dealing with, and I would ask that question. I'll ask that, just think, I'm just asking, okay, why is this person giving me this energy? Because whatever I'm saying or how I'm relating to this person, I believe in my own mind and conscience, behind everything I'm doing is love. I'm speaking to this person respectfully, in every way possible. As a human being, we relate to the other. But this person receives it in a negative way. And then I'll come to my own conclusion, which is, it's how they see it. They're seeing life. So it takes two to tango. If no matter how much you're putting out there, we all see things from our own light, from our own lens. So it will all depend on how the person sees life. So even your good morning could be something else. Your I love you could mean something else. You get what I'm trying to say? You're
Yeah.
saying something clearly to help them, and they are clearly reading opposite to what you've just said, until you bring their attention to it, like, hey, I just said this. And then be like, oh, I thought you said this. So most of the time we're hearing ourselves, yourself in your head. So that's how I mean, come to conclusion. If I analyze the situation and I realize, okay, I need to deal with, maybe I didn't do this properly, I didn't say this right, I could have said it better. I think as beings, if you're really on the path of genuine love, you would always ask that personal question in situation, especially in conflict.
Okay.
Over to you, Brakiku.
Well, I mean, I'll give you an example. I'm a full born and bred, if the word is right, Ghanaian and Ashanti man. I grew up from Ashanti.
Don't say Ghanaian, say Asantiano.
I grew up from an Ashanti home. Most part of my youthful life with my grandparents. And so obviously, how they will teach me, how they will impact my life. Everything I know is as per what I have learned, I've seen them do. And I remember, I'll give you an example. I remember back in the days, they would talk a lot of things about other tribes. This tribe is not good, this tribe is that. I hadn't had any interaction with any of them, but that is what I knew. And so I grew up knowing that, LS were this, LS were that. And one funny thing, one of the days, usually when I was in uni, I had this girlfriend, a girlfriend. Oh, the girl was entering the house. My auntie, they were talking about LS. They were insulting LS, but good thing is the girl couldn't speak Chi properly, so she didn't understand what they were saying. Okay, we were entering the house, they were talking about LS. Because I grew up knowing, like before you say, before you say. But when I had not even had any relationship with any of them, I had no friend who was nowhere. We all grew up, and I think many of us go, Abrofu, let's say, the whites are like this. Why? With that preconceived mindset, without it based on nothing, carrying it from based on nothing. And so anything that I used to do, or the thing that I used was based on the things that I have learned, I have seen my grandparents do, my mom do, the things they said to me. That's what I was doing. And even till now, most of the things that I'll do, or some of the things that I'll do, I only do them because of where I come from. I'm a Ghanaian. This is how we do our things. This is how we eat. We eat with our hands. When we go to rest, we chew the bones. That is, I've never asked the reason why we chew bones, but we have to eat the bones. We're not wasting food, or it gives us calcium or whatever. I do it because that is how I know how to do. That's how they taught me. And so you come to my workplace, and then you see me doing things a bit different from how people are doing things, only because that is what I know how to do. That's how I was taught. Not until you had an association, or you began to form an association with different people, and then you had that personal experience, then you realize, okay, now, well, this is what I thought of them, but this is not how it is. So as we were saying, everything that we do now is as a result of the things we've learned, where we grew up, the people that we've come into contact with in the past, that has formed our behavior and our thinking pattern. Because for me, it is not common for me to go to Tesco, buy food, put it in the microwave and eat. I need to cook from scratch. Every day, there have to be a fire in my house. I go to work, and my work would say, hey, your food smells good. You're always bringing like proper food. And they wonder, because I go to work early in the morning. By 7 o'clock, I'm already at work. So I wake up 5:30. I leave home at 6 o'clock. But they wonder how I get cooked food like jollof rice every day, every morning.
Because you've got a wife who loves to cook.
And you see these people, they're coming to do like 14 hours, 15 hours. They come with crepes, Tesco thing to put in microwave. And that is how they know how to do. That is what I know. They've taught me from my childhood, that for you to eat, you need to cook from scratch. And so Anything that I'm doing now, though some of them, because of my awakening, I'm beginning to reconsider a lot of things. But majority of the things that I do or who I've become now is as a result of where I grew up. The family that I grew up in, the friends that I went to school with, that accounts for what I do now. Don't know if that makes sense.
It does. Have you got anything, Jay? I should wrap up.
What should I say? What should I talk about? What should I talk about?
Come again?
What should I talk about?
So I'm just asking if you've asked yourself the question why you behave the way you behave, and why you do things, why you do certain things the way you do it.
The way that I've been brought up and the stuff I see.
Come again?
Because of the way you guys have brought me up and the stuff I see.
Because of the way.
He's put the blame on you.
I didn't say it was a bad thing.
Come again, mate.
I never said anything was negative about it, but
okay. Fair play. So I'm always making a point about dealing with people and asking yourself why they are behaving that way, why they're giving you that energy that they're giving you. I'm just going to ask 2 questions and then you can tell me, you can help me identify which one is more empowering. For me to ask myself, why is this person doing that? Or why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? Or why I'm interpreting the way I'm interpreting what they are doing, the way I'm interpreting? Which one is a more empowering question to ask? Am I clear?
Yeah, you are clear.
Yeah. So why is he doing that? Or why am I feeling the way I'm feeling because of what they're doing? Or why do I feel to react the way I'm reacting because of what they're doing? Or why am I interpreting? Why am I giving the interpretation I am choosing to give to what they're doing or what they're saying, the way they're saying? Which one is more? Which one is more empowering?
You see, when you're talking about which one is more empowering, I would say in a blank that you asking yourself why you are interpreting it the way you are interpreting it. But then without you asking yourself why they are behaving the way they are behaving, because obviously if all you know is these things have to be done that way and you do it a different way, I need to understand why you did it that way. Me understand why you did it that way, that, well, you grew up from a different home. It will inform me to reconsider how I interpret it. So, for example, if I go to work and people begin to talk, there are some, let me use it this way. We've got 2 guys who are army guys in my workplace. And this army guy, they've had encounter with like blacks, other ethnicities. So mostly when I'm having a chat with them, when we end up having a chat, you can tell those who've not really had any relationship with blacks. And because they've had relationship with blacks, they always sit in the middle. They're able to understand why I do the things that I do, and they're able to understand why like the other people also do the things they do. And they find ways to bridge it. And then if I'm not coming out clear to the other group, they are able to explain, oh, this is the reason why Charles is saying this. And if I'm not getting this guy, this is the reason why this person is saying that. But between me and the ones on the other side, until I understand why they are behaving the way they are behaving, and knowing that and accepting that they are not wrong to say that, they are not wrong to do that, because they also grew up from a home and all that they know is this. When I understand that, I'll be able now to reconsider how I think and how I interpret the things that they do. So because now I'm enlightened a bit, I would say now a bit, to know that, well, this person, all this person knows is this and that and that. Now that I'm speaking, if somebody does something, it's easy for me to interpret it the way that will best fit me and then bring harmony, bring peace to all of us. But somebody who is not enlightened, you first need to understand why people are doing the things that they are doing, and then be able to put a good interpretation to that. That's my opinion.
Thank you. Obi?
Sorry, you said which one is more empowering? It depends on the context in which, I mean, because even this question you're asking now, we're answering it based on the context and how our submission. For instance, my submission, I talked about dealing with a person and the if we am to apply the question right now to rate, it won't necessarily fit because there was this is how the person has misheard me. You understand? Wasn't paying attention and read meanings whatever they wanted to. Do you get? So there was actually how what else would I have or would the person have interpreted or how they see it? Just as Pastor K was saying, it's sometimes it's from the background, how the person was even brought up, culture. Maybe that's what is even causing the person to see things the way they are saying it. So clearly, if also I look at it that way as well, it will help in the situation. Oh, was that too much English?
I get it. Because I remember, I talk a lot about vulnerable honesty, nonviolent communication and stuff like that. And I have learned a lot from Masha Rosenberg. In fact, I think I'll share that video briefly, then we can close up that. I love this video. I have been watching this video. I watched it the first time 9 years ago. I remember very well. It's a long time, back in 2016. And it is still the concepts and the ideals in there. There are a lot of people talk about nonviolent communication and vulnerable honesty and all of that, but this particular one brings all the points home, and it resonates with me so much. And the gentleman, Muram Mozenzo, I think that's his name, he gives an instance where he felt that, so he says that they were in a group and they were playing a game, and they had gone out for a night, and he's like, all right, let's play a game of vulnerable honesty. I was like, yeah, that's fine. So which means you tell people honestly what you feel about them and they shouldn't get angry because you're just being honest. They should just accept it, which I think is a good game. It's a good game if you're all matured about it. You get people the chance. Like when I posted, ask me any question anonymously on NGL the last time. Some of the questions I had, I'm like, oh wow, okay. So these are things that people won't ask me, but maybe the dread of thinking what I'm going to think of them, or maybe they feeling that they might offend me, they aren't asking. But when I went all anonymous, then I counted 26 questions people asked me, apart from one foolish one that somebody asked me.
Why is it a foolish one? That was the person was asking.
And the person is laughing. They know it was a foolish question. But so they were playing this game, and then he turns to one of their friends in the circle and like, and you, my friend, I think you're okay. And he had brought the game up, and that was his first question, and that dimmed the night. It just killed the night because So it was like later on when he came to understand what vulnerable honesty really is, and put into practice nonviolent communication. He sat and he asked himself, is this person ugly? Okay, I feel they're ugly, I think they're ugly, but why do I think they're ugly? And then he came down to it that, okay, it's not that they're ugly, but when they talk, there's something about their mouth that I don't like. You see? And then they are connected. What about their mouth or the way their mouth moves that he doesn't find attractive? Just sum it all up that they're ugly. You know? So it was that introspection. It was easy to just go, why does this person look so ugly? And what are you really going to do? You can't do anything about it. That is how you see them. But asking the question, why do I see them ugly? What makes me think they're ugly? Brought him to the place. Oh, okay, so it's not that this person is ugly, but maybe I've had an experience with a certain shape of the mouth and a certain dimension and direction of the mouth that I don't find attractive. And this person is showing that, so they're ugly. You see? The number of times I'm being genuinely passionate and I get asked, why are you angry? I'm like, I'm not angry. You know, in my mind, I'm just being very strong about an opinion. It doesn't mean anger. But maybe the person might have had an experience where when people come across like that, they relate that to aggression. So they are interpreting it as anger.
Yeah, but if the person, that's passion and when they're angry looks the same. There's no difference, isn't it?
You know, so no, we are talking about some very important stuff here. I'm not sure if you connect the same importance I'm connecting to this with it.
Yeah,
we connect, but first of all, I said makes sense, because if your anger and your passion is the same, how will we know whether you're angry or you're passionate?
Exactly.
You know, so he and like instances where, let's say for instance, and he gave another one, very 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 good one. It's like he has this friend who smiles a lot and laughs a lot, and the laughter made him uncomfortable. So you, my friend, when you laugh, it makes me uncomfortable. Then he paused and actually he asked himself a very genuine question: why do I get uncomfortable when this person haven't laughed? And then he came to the conclusion that because they laugh so often, he feels in the inner side that when they laugh, their laughter is not always genuine. That is what makes him feel, or that's what makes him awkward whenever they're laughing. So how did he get around that? You know, my friend, you are laughing at this point. Can you please help me identify what it is that you find funny in this time that's making you laugh? Maybe it can help me appreciate your laughter. If you're to speak to anyone in this manner, they will open up and share their heart with you. We are still talking about relationship, because it goes beyond you, your wife, your children. If Masco K brings his work colleagues into it a lot of time, and I think that is also very very good, because most of us who work within such spaces, you probably spend more time with your colleagues at work than you spend for family. By the time you come home, you are knackered. You don't want to even hear anything from the kids. You just want to go to bed. And you would have spent like 8-9 hours with these people. It's important that we enhance and make that relationship rich. We get the most out of it. You know what? Let me find this video. We just watch like 5 minutes of it. Have closing comments. Do you agree?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if what's it called? Maybe they're going to try and do me for copyright, but I'll deal with it. Don't worry, because it's a YouTube, it's a copyrighted content. But it's fine. It's no problem. I'll appeal. It's not a problem. Don't worry. Hold on. And I've shared this video with someone since like 2016 or 2017. Yeah, and every time I shared it with them, they thought that I was trying to get them to submit or to change their ways. So they never took it seriously. But genuinely, it had benefited me, and I was hoping that they see the same value from it as I was seeing.
Yeah, it looks like you also trained some punchlines there.
Huh?
It looks like you also trained some punchlines.
No, I'm not training the punchline.
So how do you judge them? In your head, of course, thinking in these terms. Me as a human being, I'm capable of knowing, absolutely. And the jackal honesty, I became nonviolent communication trainer and a mediator. And nonviolent communication is not something against bullying or something like that. Nonviolent communication was developed by Marshall Rosenberg. And it's a technique how to help people to communicate in a way that is creating more cooperation and compassion.
Is it coming?
With BetterHelp, when clients are making progress, you can really notice from the very start of the session, they're coming with a little bit more of a lift in their
The sound is not coming.
Okay, bear with me. Yeah.
The video is on, but the sound.
Okay, hold on. I think I know why. Bear with me. I know why.
Believe that one we call jackal honesty is creating more cooperation and compassion. And in nonviolent communication, we define two sorts of honesty. One we call jackal honesty, and the other is giraffe honesty or nonviolent communication. And the jackal honesty is basically, it's a belief that me as a human being, I'm capable of knowing, absolutely, what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. And if there is one thing that I learned in the 40 years I'm on the planet, is that I don't know. I don't even know for myself what is good for myself for the long term. And at the same time, whenever people behave in ways that I don't like, in the speed of light, I'm thinking in these terms. I'm thinking in terms of what's wrong with them. So for example, if a friend of mine is speaking more words than what I enjoy, did it ever happen to you that people speak more words than what you enjoy? So how do you judge them? In your head, of course, you will not tell it to them because we all learn to become nice, dead, polite people. But in your head, there is a jackal party going on. So for example, like, oh my God, he speaks so much. He's boring, he's abusive, and he really thinks he's the center of the world, huh? And it's the same thing if my friend is speaking less words than what I enjoy. Also then my jackal thinking is very helpful in order to describe what's going on. Then I just give him a different name. Autist. He has communication problem. He is emotionally blocked and he needs to see a psychologist in order to learn how to open up. So whenever people behave in ways that are not meeting my needs, in the speed of light, I'm thinking in terms of what's wrong with them. And I would say that I would consider this language as a complete lie. Or in other words, tragic description of reality. Like it's not describing what is really going on. So for example, let's imagine that there is a book here. And both you and me read this book. And you say, wow, this book is really interesting. And I say, no, this book is really boring. What happened? Like, listen to the language we speak. You say, the book is interesting, and I say, no, the book is boring. What happened to the book? The book kind of entered into an existential question. What am I? Am I boring? Am I interesting? And I would say the book is not boring and the book is not interesting. The book is just a book. And at the same time, when I say the book is boring, I'm trying to describe a certain experience I'm having. So if I will describe it in giraffe, it might sound like that, in the dialogue with you. So for example, when you tell me now that you think that the book is interesting, I'm surprised because I didn't find it, and I'm curious, can you show me what is it that you find interesting in it? Now again, I have a blackout. And I'm very grateful for the phenomena that called paper. It's relatively easy when it is about books. So it's become more complicated when it is about people. If I will tell you, for example, you are boring, or you are stupid, or as I said to my friend, you are ugly. So what is it that I meant when I said to my friend, you are ugly? What was the experience I was trying to describe? So actually, it took me quite some time to realize what I meant with that. And it was actually something about her mouth. And more specifically about how she was moving her mouth while she was laughing. Do you know these people that they laugh all the time and you don't know why they laugh? I felt very uncomfortable with her because I didn't trust that her laugh was honest. So if I would describe it now, I might say something like, my friend, when you are laughing now, I'm feeling a bit unsure because I really would like to understand. Can you tell me, what is it that makes you laugh? Very often when I start to introduce the jackal and the giraffe, people start to think, okay, so the jackal is bad and the giraffe is good. Yeah? And maybe you would recognize this phenomena that, I don't know, you spend time with your mother and she's doing her thing, and you start to be annoyed. And then you start to think like, oh my God, like my mom, she's so annoying. She's such a control freak. She's bossing everybody around. And then comes this one. You know this one? Little jackal. He's saying, Yoram, you're so judgmental. You shouldn't judge your mother. I call this one New Age jackal. Yeah, like judging the judgment, thinking that judging is bad. If I think that judging is bad, I'm falling even deeper into the paradigm of the jackal.
Sure.
And then comes the poet Rumi, and he say, beyond right and wrong, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When I heard it first time, I was pissed. What do you mean, I'll meet you there? Like, hey, show me the way how to get there. And the way how to get there came to me when I heard Marshall Rosenberg say, every judgment is a tragic description, is a tragic expression of an unmet need. So each time you judge, or each time somebody is judging you, is a tragic expression of a vulnerable experience that they are having. For example, I really like to judge my girlfriend. For example, selfish. For example, I had a fight at work, and then I come back home, I want her to listen to me, and then she tells me, no, Yoram, I'm on the computer now, I don't have time today. Selfish. And I can tell you, whenever I call her selfish, that's not making her more available to want to listen to me. So what is it that I mean when I say you are selfish? So I will give you two versions of the same message. And just imagine all of you that you are my girlfriend. And just listen to me with your heart and notice which version keeps your heart more open to me. And that doesn't mean necessarily that you're going to do what I ask you to do, but just that your heart stay more open to me. So version number one, my girlfriend, you're so selfish. You just think about yourself. It's amazing. You just do whatever is important to you. And the punchline, by the way, you're just like your mother. And version number two, the same message exactly. My dear girlfriend, today I had a fight at work and I'm feeling very sad about it and I really need some help. I wonder, are you available to listen to me today for, let's say, 15 minutes? And by the way, say yes only if you really enjoy to do that. Otherwise, I have other people who can listen to me. So maybe some of you start to wonder what that has to do with TEDx education. So in my understanding,
Just quick thoughts and let's wrap up. We've gone over, but I think it's worth it. Quick thoughts.
Yeah, that was quite interesting. I mean, it was sharing some good stuff. That I mean, some of them, if you've not some of them, you've talked about all of them here in a different way before. When he said that beyond right and wrong, there's a field. Shared in the past. I think that is where I'm more into now. That I hardly see somebody's wrong. I'd rather see that maybe what you did doesn't resonate with me. Maybe there's a better way of doing what you did. If you had probably seen it this way or done it this way, it would have yielded a better result than what you did. So it's true. What that he said is just about the same message, but how you put it out there can open up for a good communication or can make the situation worse. So it's good, yeah. That's my point.
It's one of my favorite videos of all time. I love it.
It's powerful, yeah, it's good.
Love it. Jay, any thoughts? The part about judging your mom.
What? What do you mean by any thoughts?
Huh?
Repeat what he said in the video.
I didn't say to repeat what he said in the video. What did you take from it?
When you're talking, try to please the person you're talking to, so there's a high chance they listen to you. People aren't going to listen to you if what you're saying doesn't align with what they enjoy or what they like. They will listen to you more if you're connecting to them.
I like the way they use their connection. It's all about connection, emotional connection. Yeah. Right, Amma?
I think the place he said, yeah, he brought a solution to the problem, but I was just thinking about my own. That he said, "Can I speak to you for 15 minutes?" What if that 15 minutes becomes an hour? That 15 minutes becomes an hour.
So, I think you're not in line with what we are doing today. You have too many problems that you want to attack. Today you just want to attack.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, at the end of the day,
I genuinely feel sorry for you.
well, I think yes, there's a point in what he said in the communication, because something what he said is typical of all of us. It's something we do, and sometimes we don't even say, because there have been times when he said, "Oh, you're just like a mom." That I mean, there have been many times I've actually thought the same way. So not all the time that it has come out of my mouth, but
yeah, because you think I'm just like my mom.
What if, yeah, so saying that, what if it's true? When he said that, I kind of thought, okay, that thing, what if, yes, it's true? That the person is just like, you're just bringing the root of what that is.
Yeah, but it comes down to how does that solve your problem?
But that'll give her peace, knowing that you're just like your mom.
I think, I remember I said this some time ago, years back, and you kind of you paused, and later we talked about it, and you were like, oh, that is actually true, right? I'm asking you, don't look at me. You said you paused.
I said
So sometimes it's not necessarily a bad thing to point that out. The person could also, it shouldn't be in an atmosphere, obviously, if it's an atmosphere of insulting and all of that, it's not good. But could it not also be of help? It did help, I think, so when the person knows the root of their behavior sometimes.
Yeah, you're right, but he says something that like it's not the message, but how you communicate it. So when he said that you're talking more than I'm enjoying, well, I see the person is talkative. If somebody is talking and say, "Oh, you talk too much," that's a bit
harsh,
below the belt. But if you're able to tell the person who you are talking to in a different way, it will make the person really think, oh, maybe I'm saying too much that you cannot catch up with what I'm saying.
But is it not even more I'll find it if someone says to me, you're talking more than I'm enjoying.
No, so do you realize he didn't say to tell the person they're talking more than you enjoy? He's just trying to say that what is making them feel the way they are feeling is maybe the person is talking more than they're enjoying. You don't go telling somebody that you're talking more than them.
So I'm I'm adding to it that rather than tell somebody that, oh, you talk too much, there might be a way, a phrase that you can say the same thing, but will not be harsh to the person. It will rather make the person, because there's something like Asida.
Feedback.
If I pick Asida from school and you ask Asida, how was school? You better not have asked her. She will tell you can drive her to Chatham and back. And how was school? She will tell you everything, story. I wonder where she gets the stories from. Sometimes you tell her and I'm not even listening. So there's a way you can tell the person that you are talking too much and not making the person offended, but rather rethinking and say, oh, maybe in a particular way I talk a lot more than I should. Let me answer the question that the person has asked, and then let me
tell them to put in a text message or to put in a short story. Oh, you know what you're telling me is quite interesting. It's going to make a very good story. Can you write it? Anyway, no, but you know, Marshall Rosenberg is a genius. He's a genius, and he has helped a lot of people, including myself. And like, I love Yoram's video in particular because it brings 4 or 5 different concepts that Rosenberg talks about in one, and it's quite something. I'll share the link with us. Just take time and listen. You'll get something that will benefit you. But okay.
So
let's pray.
All too soon we've come to the end of today's session. Another exciting one. Thank God for such an awesome time, powerful time. This is what we call power at work. When Jesus said, and Bible talks about the fact that when Jesus was in the synagogue preaching and the Spirit of God was mightily there to heal. This is what he meant. You hear, and there's a healing in the soul, it's a healing in the mind, there's a healing in the body. These things that we are saying, these things that we are sharing here, it's bringing healing. I don't know about you, but for me, I appreciate something that's my body, and that has been what has saved in my marriage, my communication at home, my communication at work, everything that I am now is what we've been sharing in the past few years. My wife says she's doing, hey, this woman is a troublesome woman on my head. It's awesome. In that spirit, as the Bible said, I want us to close our eyes. Take a deep breath. As you breathe in, I want you to begin to ponder over the message. What I have talked about today. And as you breathe out, I want you to release that spirit of healing upon the many souls that have listened, that will listen. Because there is an activation of healing. It's a healing the many who have troubles in their marriage, the men who have troubles in their finances, the men who have troubles in their communication, the men who have troubles in loving, the many who have troubles in receiving love and interpreting love. healing that I'm sensing, I'm feeling now, transcend onto them. Ah. Thank you. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. In that same spirit, I usher us into a week of testimony, a week of abundance, a week of joy and happiness, peace and love. And so it is. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. God, Spirit, Love, Intelligence. The one divine source and force of all life. We acknowledge that you are all there is and ever will be. We are unified with you, knowing that love, God, is all there is. We are made of this same divine energy, and we are, I am, this love intelligence, and I am spirit made manifest. All that I think, say, and do is spirit in act. And so it is with each and every one of us. And from this oneness, I know that all of creation, not just those under the sound of my voice, are of this same divine loving energy. Because I am spirit, and spirit is love. I am love, and greater lover. Spirit is abundant, and we are abundant, and greater abundance. And spirit is perfect health, and we are perfect health. Greater health are done. Because spirit is harmony, serenity, and peace. We are harmony, serenity, and peace. I declare all our relationships harmonious. I declare all our relationships harmonious. And we release these words into the universe, our Lord, knowing that we are truly blessed, and so it is. I bless you. I bless you. God bless you. Shalom and love to us.